Greetings, I'm back again with another awesome video. Let's go. So tonight I got recommended a video by Dave Ramsey. If you don't know who this guy is, he does these like YouTube videos where he just has a bunch of normies who just prattle on about how they're in so much debt because they're idiots, and then he gives them so-called advice like to stop using credit cards and stuff. And it's pretty funny because the people that call in are like idiots. So anyway, about Dave Ramsey though, is that, well, he's a celebrity, and as I always say, if you try comparing yourself to celebrities, you can't. 99% of them have advantages that you and I don't have. So like his story is like Dave Ramsey was born, like his parents were like rich real estate people. And, he had like a lot of advantages in his early life, and then he wasted all his money in his 20s and he went bankrupt. And then after that, like he learned how to be financially like successful or whatever, because he started his own businesses and stuff, which, was based on, his parents being rich. So they bailed him out, and then he became financially successful. As I always say with celebrities, like, they're either born rich or they're born with connections to influential Jews. And he was born rich. So that's why he is where he is today. But his show is kind of funny, so I like it. So anyway, I'm gonna be reviewing this video here. Damn it. Start. Okay, there we are. Go to 20.
I've been sounding the same alarm that you and I have been sounding, particularly you, that we have what you were...
by the way, the video is titled 7 Million American Males Refuse to Go to Work. If you remember, I made a video like a few months ago about like why men aren't going to work. So, yeah, let's watch this then.
Saying at the break is a social crisis evolving, and it's showing up in the unemployment numbers when we properly measure them. Now, this economist is a mathematician that did this book, How Things Work. I guess that's Mike's podcast. I don't see the name of his book off the top of my head. Somebody handed it to me the other day at an event I believe
it's Men at Work, if I'm not mistaken, something along those lines.
But the essence of their discussion that you and I have been having a similar discussion is this shift in the workplace right now, that we've got a large number of jobs available and no one applying for them. There's a shortage of labor for the first time in post-War War II America. We've never seen this in modern America. And the reason there's a shortage is not because the jobs are so plentiful. It's because there are, according to this article from Fox News, quoting Micro and quoting this economist, there are now 7 million able-bodied males between 25 and 40 years old that are able to work and are not even looking for work.
Yeah, it's correct, and it's staggering. And so
Micro, let's just get all the conservatives here. You gotta go be hardworking men there. Do your job.
The point here is that what's going on? This is causing massive economic problems. Before we look at the social, very quick glance here. When you have a gap in the jobs like we've had now for the last 2 years, then you've got real small businesses being hurt by this. Think about the restaurants in your small town. They can't find people to work, and it's affecting their livelihood. Then the other economic factor is, of course, we saw and we still see a war for talent. And so wages have gone up tremendously in the last 2 years, which has now led to a stubborn inflationary period that we are in. Now, that's the economic...
wages have gone up significantly. Well, a significant reason why men don't want to work is because, like, we can't afford shit. I mean, especially if you're a man and you're trying to be like normal, which is what you basically have to like pay for a woman and, be financially solid yourself, and then pay to send her on trips and pay to have a house and pay to have all this shit. Like, yeah, like you need like a really good job, and you can't work at like some like little rinky-dink restaurant you talked about. Like, that's not going to be good enough. You can work that job 60 hours a week. You're not going to make enough money in order to, pay for a wife and, well, potentially kids and stuff. So, no, like the wages raising astronomically. No, they're not raising enough. So that's a problem.
The social piece. What's crazy about this is that you've got 6.8 million people that last month, according to the latest jobs report and the Census Bureau, 100 million Americans weren't working last month. Now, half of them
100 million.
100 million, but half
were working.
No, hold on.
No, we don't have 100 million unemployed.
Let them finish.
Didn't say they were unemployed. I'm saying just not working, period. I'm just breaking the numbers down for you.
Oh, yeah, like toddlers.
Half are retired.
Okay.
Oh, Todd. Okay, so this is what this is going to be now. So we're just going to insult men because this is what boomers just love to fucking do. Let's just insult men. Let's call them toddlers. Let's do mommy's basement. You're gonna bring all that shit out now? It's going to be one of these. Jesus Christ.
Another 12% are dealing with some type of long-term illness, or disability. Okay, and
that's
then
me.
5.6 million people saying I don't want to go back to work because they're scared of COVID, and then the number is right at 7 million that are saying I don't want to work, and those are the men. So the social factor that's going on here is you've got two factors. One, you've had decades and decades of entitlements. Starts with welfare, and then if you look at during COVID,
Whoa, starts with welfare. Welfare is it's vastly sided towards women. And then you just kind of brushed over the whole COVID part. Like, the COVID part is even bigger than the men. And you're going to tell me that's rational? Well, if you tell me it's irrational, you can't say that on YouTube. So, I mean, of course you're not going to say that.
People are getting payments every week, every month. All right, so that's an entitlement where they're disincentivized to actually go back to work. And then, Dave, I think the fact that for decades we've literally taken the pain away from our kids.
Whoa. Now, you're saying the money that people got for not working during COVID is an entitlement? Bro, I don't know about that one. I mean, like, your government just, like, totally fucked over everyone with their bullshit, with this hoax garbage. And you're going to say that's an entitlement? Okay, bro.
Kids, we've removed the struggle. And I don't say this with jest, but I think when you look at things like everybody gets a trophy for participation, and nobody learns the sting of failure. Nobody learns the sting of rejection. And so what happens is a good amount of the
This dude can't be serious to this, right? Are you really suggesting that men in current year do not understand rejection? You're saying this about men. You're not saying this about women, right? You're saying this about men? I mean, this is stupid. I mean, I don't even think boomers believe that. I mean, even boomers are rejected by women. I mean, how can you honestly think that men just do not face constant rejection today? Like, come on, bro. Like, what?
Are in this conversation that Mike had with this economist are looking at screens based on the data. They say how much time they spend on screens. They get dopamine hits.
2,000 hours a year.
2,000 hours a year.
7 million men, 25 to 54, are spending 2,000 hours a year on screens.
So self-medicating because they're scared to leave the cave, using your old analogy.
Not cave.
No, it's not like, no, us men are not, I'm not on my monitor, 12, 13 hours a day because I want to be here. I'm here because I have no other choice. Men have no value today. Again, this is like the same thing I always hear from my therapist and all this other shit. It's like, oh, just go out there and go out into the world. Nobody wants to deal with men. You talk about your social crisis. That's the social crisis. Men have no value. Nobody wants to be around us. Women outright hate us. We live in a very feminist world. That's why men are on their screens all day, because we have nowhere else to go. This is the only good copes we have. This is the only way we can enjoy life. A lot of men, if you're, like I said, I even say it in my comments, if you're a sub-6 male today, you are hated. And you are. You're hated. Like, girls in college, for the past bunch of years, they're taught to hate men like me. I'm not here because I want to be here. I want to be out there with, a whole bunch of women and, fucking a whole bunch of them. That's what I want to be doing. I'd love to do that. And if I was doing that, then I would want to work, a whole bunch of hours, because it's like, okay, well, I feel like a part of society. People like me, but people don't like me, so I don't want to do shit. So that's your social crisis that you're not understanding at all.
Right. But the idea is they're afraid to put themselves out there. And here's what we know about work. So when someone succeeds in work, their self-esteem goes up. 2, they have financial independence or the opportunity.
No. Sorry, I'm interrupting a lot here, but no. Okay, look. Yeah, you can succeed at your job, and it will provide some it will improve your self-esteem, someone being successful at your job. But at the end of the day, like I've told the story about my, the 15 years that I worked. There were moments where I was like, I was good at my job and it did provide me self-esteem. But at the end of the day, if you're working and you're coming home to an empty house every single day, that's what we're really working for. And that's what's lacking. There are men who are not in relationships. There are men that, they do get married and their wives, just act like total cunts and they cheat on them. How many single mothers are out there? I mean, it's commonplace. Men aren't coming home to families, and that's why men want to work. That provides the reason why men want to work. No, it's not being told you're doing a good job at work. I've been through that. Yeah, I've had the boss who told me, "Oh, Todd, you're doing a really good job at work," and then I get a 20-cent raise, and then that makes me feel good for what, a month or two, and then I'm still coming home to an empty house. And what is that? What is that extra $10 a week doing for me? Who gives a shit? I mean, no, that's not a long-term answer.
Opportunity for financial freedom, and then 3, they're a part of something bigger than themselves. It's a sense of belonging.
Dr. John Deloney.
No. Being a wage slave, slaving 50, 60 hours a week does the opposite of providing you a sense of belonging in the society. It just makes you feel like a cog in the machine. It makes you feel fucking worthless. Especially when you're doing some job and you're working around women who just fucking hate you. That was my life in the library I worked at the end. I was working a ton of hours, and the women there fucking hated me. That makes you hate society more. It makes you feel even more isolated and more alienated. So, no, it's true, though. Men do need to feel like they have a place in society, and I mentioned that in my, in the reason why men don't want to work, because there's no sense of community anymore. It's gone. That shit's gone long on, and it's not even fixable at this point.
Because your dignity, your autonomy,
that's it.
Your ability to control your environment goes up. There is such a mental illness tie-in.
No question.
Caused by not working.
That's right.
Literally. So this idea that you have not put gravel in the stomach of your kids, they have no grit, means as a parent you suck. And so you mommies need to throw your 25-year-old out of your basement.
Yep. So you mommies. Interesting. You only said mommies there. So this fucker does realize it. He realizes the single mother problem. Of course, he's not going to say it on YouTube. Of course, he's not, because if he says anything remotely critical about women, he knows he can get canceled. Interesting. Interesting in ways that mommy's
yesterday, and put him on the street and teach him to work. You're late to the party, but you need to do this. You are doing him a disservice. You are doing America a disservice. You are doing your neighbors a disservice. You're doing the mental health community a disservice. You're risking his increased likelihood of depression, anxiety.
Okay, so I'm doing America a disservice. I'm doing the mental health field a disservice. I'm doing my neighbors a disservice. And you know what? Fuck all of them. I don't care. I'm proud I'm doing them a disservice. Fuck every one of them because they all hate me and they all make me feel fucking isolated and I have no sense of community and I have no sense of giving a fuck about anyone around me. No, it's not my mommy that did that. It's not my mommy that taught me any of that. You know what made me feel all that? This fucking cold, cruel world in there that treats men like shit. And a fucking boomer, fucking fat-ass, bald, old motherfucking boomer like you, you're the one that caused it too. Because you're on here fucking bullying lonely men who are just beat down to shit. And you're just as guilty of it as every one of those motherfuckers. And why you want to say that I'm doing a disservice? I hope I'm doing a disservice to you too, motherfucker.
And suicide.
That's exactly right.
You are doing all of these things because you're letting Junior play Call of Duty 2,000 hours a year in your basement, and he ain't ever been
video. I mean, dude, it's not 1996 anymore. Stop with the fucking video game shit.
And the irony is you're doing all of that under the
Men
guise
don't want to sit here be playing video games all day. I don't want to be doing it all day either. I have no other choice. Women hate me. Women hate me. And even if women didn't hate me, would I get married today? No, because I'm not a fucking idiot. Like, where the laws are just completely against me and would fuck me over. Like, as a low-value, ugly man, like, I'm just fucked over in so many goddamn ways. You're acting like I have a fucking choice in the matter. Like, dude.
Of helping your kid feel good about themselves, and the very thing that they need to feel good about themselves is to go out and do good.
Yeah, it's the wussification of America.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of wussies.
Doing good for other people. You know what that does? Do you know what it does when you do good for other people, but there's no reward? Because that's like been the story of my life. Like when I was a younger kid, like I wasn't like the asshole that I am today. Like I was like the obedient good kid that always listened to my parents. You know what? It got me absolutely fucking nothing. Nothing. Sure, it got me like a decent job because like I was like nice to the right people. But what did that do for me? Nothing. Women hate me. The world hates me. I just feel so isolated and alone. No. Doing good for other people doesn't do shit because other people don't care.
Is word of mouth.
Well, the only thing that people really care about is like, do I want to fuck this person? Do I think this person can help me go fuck? If the answer is no, then nobody gives a fuck about you.
That's two. And, seriously, a good cowboy boot in the butt of this whole thing would be helpful.
Oh, God, stop with the fucking
would. It just
boomerisms.
pisses me off. I mean, this is just a thing where you just need to work. Oh, my God.
This pisses me off. All you gotta do is just go out there and work. Yeah, you know why it pisses him off? Yeah, you know exactly why. Because this dude, he's just like my parents who are watching, their their IRAs and their 401ks and their Social Security. They're watching it fall down the toilet. That's why he's pissed off. He's pissed off because he wants to be like his parents that bailed his sorry ass out in his 20s. He wants to be like them that just have no financial worries at all. They just have all the money in the fucking world. And he's watching his little bank accounts or what the fuck ever. He's watching them just fade away. And he knows it's like, well, you youngsters, you got to be paying for my Social Security. Yeah, fuck you, dude.
7 million.
I hope you lose all your fucking riches making this fucking bullshit for boomers.
And they call them men in this article. I'll call them male.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you and your constant bullying of men, dude. Like, you're exactly the problem. You are exactly the problem with this fucking bullshit because men are just so fucking beat down, dude. Men are so beat down and you're just adding to it. You are adding. You mentioned the social crisis and all you're doing is adding to it with this bullshit. And there is not going to be one critical word towards women, towards COVID, No, there's not going to be one critical word towards that because you're a cuck. You're a fucking cuckold to YouTube. You suck on Sujin Wojiki's tits. You're a cuck to her. Because you know if you say one critical word about any of those people, they're going to cancel your ass. Or they could. Just like they did to me. All I said was, I don't want to deal with women anymore, and that's considered hate speech. Lovely, worldly.
All right. Males, 25, 50, 25 to 40, 7 million of them, literally sitting on their butts. And someone else is caring for them. The government, their mommy, their live-in girlfriend, who thinks she's cute.
Okay, but this is the one thing is like their living girlfriend, dude. Boomers don't even believe that shit. I mean, they know that is so rare. I mean, unless you're like a super good looking dude, like you do not have a living girlfriend paying for your entire life. Like, dude, yeah, I mean that's just like almost. That's over the line. That almost makes me think like that was like his way of trying to like say that women are part of this too. Because that's just such a ridiculous thing to say, dude. I mean, that's like such a tiny percentage of like super attractive men that can pull that off. Ridiculous.
Here's the breakdown.
Got a sugar mama, do you, buddy?
Yeah, but all you're going to do is just insult
Here's
dudes.
some of the census data, Dave, from a Bloomberg article. The equivalent of 32 million people who aren't working are relying on savings. That includes retirement, okay? Another 26 million are using credit cards or loans, and 12 million have been borrowing
the
from
credit card
families.
is the devil. It's at the center of the problem.
There it is. And then here's the part we've been talking.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Like Dave Ramsey, he just goes on and on about credit card debt. Why do you think so many men are getting into credit card debt? Because they're going beyond their means, trying to impress women. I dare say that is probably the most likely reason why these men are getting into debt is because of that. You're not going to mention that though, right? You're going to make an entertainment show based on laughing at the poor cucks who pay like for their women to go on like extravagant trips and shit, right? You know, like my boy Depressed Unwanted Man. Like, the dude financially fucked himself because he had to pay for his wife to go to a trip to Hawaii, and then she leaves him like a few weeks later. Then he bought a house, he bought a big house purposely to build a family in. He put himself in the debt because he was doing the so-called responsible thing, trying to be like that financially responsible guy for a woman, to be a wife and have a family. And all it did was fuck him over. Those are the people that's most examples of guys who are getting into credit card debt. But you're just going to laugh at it and call them like mommy's boys and video games and mommy. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. I mean, I didn't hate Dave Ramsey before. This dude can go fuck himself. I hope he gets raped by fucking niggers.
12
fuck
million
you,
have
Jew
said that they're
cocksucker.
borrowing from family or friends to help keep them out of the workforce.
Yeah.
They're living off
family
of
and
other
friends.
People.
You're enablers.
Yep.
You're giving a drunk a drink. You're giving a lazy person the ability to still be lazy. You're giving someone who's in avoidance mode because they're afraid, they're scared, they're paralyzed by the facing reality and stepping into the real world, when the best thing that can happen to you, the most alive you'll ever feel, is when you risk it and you step up to the plate and the ball comes whizzing across and scares the piss out of you while you swing the bat. This is the best thing that can happen to you.
That's right.
And you strike out.
Right.
And it's okay.
Right.
Sometimes it doesn't work out. Oh, darn.
Well,
Oh, darn! Just like me working for over a decade and getting nothing. Coming home to an empty house every single day. Because women are just fucking horrible. And obviously because I'm ugly and lacking in a lot of ways, but whatever. And you're just going to say, oh, darn, you worked for a gazillion years and you got nothing for it. Oh, darn. Just put up with it, bro. Just tighten up your bootstraps and keep doing it. Keep doing it. You know why? Because this fucker just wants his like 401k to keep going up. Fuck you.
I think the simplest way to look at what Dave
That's
said
really
is,
what this is
remember
all
all
about.
of us when we rode a bike the first time, we were terrified. Horrified, maybe.
I'm terrified right now.
Yeah. But what happened?
Good.
Like we took
I hope you are. I hope you lose all your fucking savings, you fucker.
fear, we stepped into it. We learned to ride the bike, and it wasn't much longer before we were saying, "Look, Mom, no hands." We go from terrified to get on the bike to "Look, Mom,
okay,
no hands."
kid
That's
insults,
the human
blah,
spirit,
blah, blah.
The idea of these kids, these men, I shouldn't say kids, but some of them are emotionally kids.
Okay, is this over
they
yet?
need to feel alive, and the way you feel alive is by making a contribution for yourself and for others. That's simple.
You don't feel alive where there's no risk.
Well, that's exactly right.
And the coddling of the American male, the wussification of this.
Yeah, men are just so fucking coddled today, dude. Yeah, men are the ones that are coddled. You're fucking ridiculous, dude.
Culture, it is
Nonsense.
really starting to be a social problem.
And now an economic
It started out as a parenting problem. It started out as this, and hey, man, I don't know. Do we?
No, well, it is a parenting. I mean, it did start out as a parenting problem. It became a serious parenting problem because why? Because like there's a massive amount of single mothers. Yeah, you're right there. And now it's a social problem because of those single mothers, because of batshit third wave feminism and beyond. Yeah, men are treated like shit and nobody cares, and then you just exacerbate the problem by further treating us like shit for no reason other than you're a greedy fucker who wants his 401k to go up.
No, I'm just going to blame you, moms and dads.
Well, I would say the friends and the parents are absolutely culpable. And I would say this.
I can blame Call of Duty if you want, but moms and dads that are good moms and dads rip that crap out of the wall and say, get your butt out and mow the grass.
Here's one other one. We the people, taxpayers, we got to
quit giving these morons money to sit on their butts.
No more government entitlements. That's where we the people can do something.
Yeah, but you're the ones that enabled all that. And you're the ones that also enabled feminism and all these laws that are absolutely fucking insane and against men. You also enabled that, but you don't care, right? I mean, this is all just bullshit entertainment, though. Because you have who's Dave Ramsey's audience? It's a bunch of boomers. It's a bunch of boomers who are in the same state as like my parents that just are watching like Social Security die, and they're just watching their safety net. They know soon enough it's going to be gone, and they're terrified. And then they want to blame us kids for not continuing it. That's so much what they think. I mean, it's really what this is all about. It's just all stupid entertainment for boomers. And boomers, you can go, fuck right off. I don't care. Fuck you. You're the ones who enabled this dog shit third wave feminism society we're in. It's just a complete and utter hellhole filled with single mothers, filled with entitled fucking bitches. And yeah, men are giving up. We should be.
It's just not good for the moron. And it's not good for the government. And it's not good for us.
I like when I make a policy recommendation.
Be kind to morons day, okay? Really. Oh my gosh.
Dave's like the soundtrack to all my policies.
Okay, so yeah, that was that got me raged up a little bit. I used to like Dave Ramsey. I guess I don't anymore. Yeah. But really all this was just another hit piece on men, just dragging us down more, like we really need it. It's so it's just the world is just an utterly shit place for men today. And men are dropping out, and you're like Dave Ramsey. You're gonna come on here, and you're just gonna belittle men even more. All you're doing is just adding to the problem, which is probably what you're being told to do by your little Jew boss at YouTube. So good job, I guess, right? Yeah, whatever. Bye.